You are listening to the Knightline Sports Network, brought to you by Travis Dever and the Dever team, 386-690-1636.
This is WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580, Orlando's news and talk.
Welcome to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Night Nation's only call-in show goes live now.
All right. Hello, Orlando. Hello, Night Nation. This is Andrew Phegley. This is Knightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law, assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your new Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. And if you need a new or used car, truck, or Jeep, you can call me, Andrew Phegley, 386-736-3000, 386-736-3000, or come and visit me at DeLand Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and I will give you a deal, especially if you say go Knights and charge on to me. And we'll take care of you there. I've got Big Ben Stout at Big Social 32 on Twitter and Roger Phipps at Night Bengal on Twitter with me here today. And you can find all the rest of our content on nightlinesports.com. Guys, are you there?
We are here.
All righty. How you guys doing today? There's all kinds of stuff going on today, it seems like, in UCF land. Lots of sports in Night Nation, I guess I should have said.
UCF land works.
It's been kind of a weird week, so it's all good, though. So we're here. You guys were talking about the baseball game. I know you guys were both watching that. I was trying to get stuff set up, and I was like, oh, man, I wish those guys would be quiet, but it is what it is. Go ahead and tell us what's going on with the baseball game today, and then just kind of where they stand and everything.
Yeah, we're excited. I'm excited to try to see if my Tijuana Flats hot take from last week that we would win the Tulane series this weekend will come true. Right now we're up 8-4 on the bottom of the seventh against Tulane, so looks like we're going to be able to hopefully close this one out and be able to win this series after winning on Friday night against Tulane and then dropping one last night. So it's been kind of a defensive battle so far this series, and but the bats have woken up at the right times in certain situations, and certainly that was true on Friday night where we got a couple of clutch hits, but really it was a great pitching from Ben Vespi to kind of take that one home, along with some great pitching out of the bullpen. And today's been a little bit of a back and forth game after a rain delay, and we're up 8-4. Hopefully we can close this one out.
All righty. Big news as well this weekend with the NFL draft. Kalia Davis selected by the 49ers in the NFL draft. What was it, the fourth round that he went in or something like that? Sixth. I'm sorry. Well, it was a little bit farther back than I thought. I didn't have time to watch. I was quite busy. So good for him, though. Was out part of the season last season with a torn ACL, I believe. So that's good to see him, back in shape enough to get drafted. I think that's awesome that he got drafted. That keeps our streak alive, too. He was the only one drafted. But we have 48 players drafted all time since 1987. At least one player drafted in 16 of the last 17 drafts. 27 players drafted since 2008, 34 since 2003. 5 defensive linemen have been drafted. The last was in 2019, Tristan Hill with the Cowboys. So,
you know who didn't get anybody drafted? Our future conference mate, Texas. They had 0 folks drafted. So, even on one of our worst drafts, we still did better in Texas. So, the number one money-making team in the country, that speaks to it. And speaking of Davis, Mel Kiper said on draft day when his little spot came up. He said he would have been a 3rd-round pick had it not been for the injury. So Davis has done a really, really good job on the defensive line, converted linebacker. So I'm excited to see what he can do in the NFL.
A couple other people. Oh, go ahead, Ben.
I was just going to say, his strength certainly is one of his athleticism is kind of his, big assets along with his size. That combination has been great for him, and he had a great pro day from the aspect of the bench press and some other things that were very impressive. I think there was a tweet today that said he would have, if he was able to participate in the NFL Combine this year, his bench press that he put up on UCF's pro day, I believe he had over 30 reps, would have been tops of all defensive linemen. So certainly that strength and athleticism that he showed throughout his career at UCF was on display on some of the measurables on pro day. And then, and like Mel Kiper, you're right, Roger. He had some great things to say about him. Definitely would have said he would have gone on the second day, or he believes he would have gone much, much higher had he not had that injury. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on him, and he may be a steal for a late round steal for the 49ers.
Yeah, I think he will be. We all know the motor that he has and what he was able to do out there from that position for UCF. So. Good for him. Four other guys signed free agent deals. It was Cole Schneider picked up by the Green Bay Packers, offensive lineman Cole Schneider, wide receiver Brandon Johnson with the Denver Broncos, edge rusher Big Cat Bryant hooked up with the Dallas Cowboys, and offensive lineman Marcus Tatum also got a deal with the Jaguars so far. That's the deal. I'm surprised, actually, Cole Schneider. I was thinking he would be the one of the linemen anyway that maybe would have gotten drafted in there. I'm kind of surprised by that one personally.
Me too. I mean, one of the things that he had going for him was that he played multiple positions. So, when it comes to offensive linemen, that's a premium for the NFL. So I'm right there with you when it comes to being surprised he didn't go higher.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, going into this past season, it kind of seemed like he was the one that we were keeping an eye on as far as if you had to bet on who would go the highest of the team that we had this past season. It kind of was lining up to be Cole Schneider might have been the most obvious choice there, especially since Kalia Davis took that COVID year off the year before. So I agree. I was a little surprised, but he might be one of those guys that can really accelerate and make the team as an undrafted free agent and make some noise, because he definitely has that versatility and that strength as well.
Were you guys surprised by Big Cat at all? He didn't have a great season. I thought that he was going to come in here and really tear things up a little bit more than he did last season. I'm a little bit surprised that he wasn't rated higher and was picked up as a free agent instead of a draft pick. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, for me, a couple things come to mind. They were double teaming Big Cat a lot last season.
Yep,
so he actually freed up people on the other end, on the other defensive end position. The big thing with him is I think he's something like 6'2", 240. So as a defensive end goes, he's on the smaller side. And he was really used in that hybrid linebacker defensive end role. So I think that may have pushed him further down where he didn't get drafted.
Yeah,
so.
And I was going to say that I wouldn't be shocked if you see him out there being used as a linebacker more than a defensive end, because maybe he should have gone in as a linebacker instead of defensive end because of that size difference for him.
Yeah, that's what I think held. I mean, he got held back a little bit stats-wise during his one season here, and that's mainly just because of, like Roger talked about. I mean, so much attention in the offensive game plan was like to make sure that they could stop him, double team him, because he knew he was a terror if he was going to get let loose. And so, yeah, there was a lot of double teaming going on there, and that kind of held him back. But that attention allowed other players to get the sacks and get the quarterback pressures. So I agree with what you guys are saying there. And I think it's just his size and his measurables that some teams, really, put a ton of stock in. But hopefully he can make a name for himself there in Dallas and accelerate to make the team.
Absolutely. All right. Well, a little bit of a disappointing draft in my opinion, just because we only had the one guy drafted. Normally, I think last year that we had 6 or whatever? It was our highest one ever.
I think it was 5. Yeah,
5 or 6, whatever.
It was our highest one ever. You're right.
Yeah. So doesn't totally surprise me with the coaching change and everything else. And then, I think that old Coach Heupel kind of hurt some of these guys a little bit as well with what was going on his last season here personally.
Yeah, maybe. I agree. And it certainly, it seems like the way the recruiting is going and even the transfers coming in to fit Gus's system, that's certainly we're going to see more and more draft picks every year. We're going to be kind of talking about more players being drafted out of UCF. But Roger mentioned, Texas not getting a draft pick. Another streak stays alive as well as our little brothers to the west also did not have a draft pick for another year in a row. So the Cows also were left out of the cold. So we at least kept our streak alive, and they kept that different kind of streak alive.
Yeah, what happened with the rest of the Big 12? I know Baylor, I saw their name a lot. 25 players selected. I just pulled it up. So I was trying to pull it up. So 25 players, Iowa State in the second round, Baylor, Oklahoma in the third round, Baylor in the third round, fourth round, Oklahoma, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Iowa State, fifth round, Oklahoma, sixth round, Kansas, Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, Baylor, seventh round, Oklahoma State, Baylor, Texas Tech, K-State, Oklahoma, and Iowa State. So good with that.
Yeah, that's definitely good for the Big 12. The other thing with the teams going into the Big 12, obviously, and our current conference mates, Cincinnati, and they're obviously going along with us to the Big 12. They certainly had a great day, and it kind of shows you though that they've lost some key pieces going into next season. Now, I'm not going to say that they're completely decimated and they're on a rebuild, because they're certainly going to need to look out for them next.
Oh, I think we may have lost Ben there for a second.
Sorry about that. I had a little clip there. But certainly I think that there's some good prospects going into next season from a UCF perspective, where we're not going to see the same Cincinnati team that we saw the past couple of years. Now that Desmond Ridder is gone, some of their great receivers that got drafted as well. And then of course, their great cornerback Gardner, who got drafted as well, is somebody we're not going to see next season as well, which bodes great for us. I'm
a little bit excited about Brian Cook signing from Cincinnati, signing with my Kansas City Chiefs, by the way. So he was definitely hurt us against our Knights, but I'll take him on my NFL team. I have no problem.
Yeah,
with that.
They had 8 guys that were drafted in this draft, which is phenomenal. I mean, it helps that there were a playoff team, obviously, and they eclipsed us at this point with the most draft picks out of the quote unquote group of 5. But Ben, to your point, they've got some transfers that are coming in as well. They had the LSU running back that came in. So it'll be interesting in this era of transfers and NIL to see how Cincinnati fares and how they reload by the time we play them this year. But, I'm pretty confident in our roster and our ability to beat them.
So 25 Big 12 players selected, 19 American players from the American Conference, our current conference versus our future conference. So interesting there. We may talk a little bit more about that when we come back. We're going to take a break right here, and we will be right back on Knightline at Night.
An auto accident can change your life forever. At Chad Barr Law, we are raising the bar on what to expect from your personal injury attorney. Hi, I'm Chad Barr, and I want you to know that our entire team is dedicated to providing you with the representation you deserve in your greatest time of need. If you or a loved one have been injured in an auto accident, call 407-599-9036 for a free consultation or visit chadbarlaw.com. At Chad Barr Law, our clients come to us in need and leave as family. Offices, Altamont Springs.
Hey, this is Travis Dever, Kai's Real Estate, the Dever team, New Smyrna Beach. Your source for real estate and everything else, New Smyrna Beach. Proud sponsor of Knightline. Call me anytime at 386-690-1636. That's 386-690-1636. Let me show you my hometown, New Smyrna Beach, UCF's favorite beach. Go Knights and charge on.
Looking for more out of your Porsche? Look no further than Flat6Motorsports.com. They have the widest selection of aftermarket Porsche parts anywhere in the world. With over 85 product lines and in-depth expertise, Flat6Motorsports.com is your one-stop shop for any Porsche performance needs. Whether you're shopping for intakes, exhausts, suspension, or tuning, they have you covered. Flat6Motorsports.com is the premier Porsche aftermarket specialist. Check them out at Flat6Motorsports.com.
And now, back to Nightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, Andrew Phegley here, back with you on Nightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barr Law. You hear about our advertisers quite a bit. Well, we have a new one. I want to talk to you about that real quick. The guys at Manscaped. If you're not familiar with them, go to manscaped.com. They provide hygiene products for men, and they go a little crazy. We talk about balls on here all the time. All the sports, all the sports that we have, we talk about some kind of a ball, right? So Manscaped is kind of they kind of focus on balls as well in a way. So they gave us all of their products. They have a premium, ultra premium collection, which is skin and hair care. And then they gave us also the performance package, which had a trimmer, a nose hair trimmer, some reviver, some preserver, they call it, all for your, kind of the Manscaped area. So, guys, I've been using this stuff, and I was really excited because I've heard of this company for the longest time, like a long time. And I was really excited to get this stuff because I've heard of their products, and they're funny. The name of some of these things, like the trimmer is called the Lawnmower 4.0. The nose and ear hair trimmer is called the Weed Whacker. They have some stuff called Crop Preserver, Crop Reviver. Yeah. So, and they just have fun stuff. So, what did you think about some of their products?
I got to say,
all three of us got these products, by the way. So.
Yeah, it was awesome of Manscaped. I mean, I'm so glad that they're partnering with us on the show. I mean, it was great of them to send us these products, and I've used all of them. I mean, the trimmer, both trimmers that they sent us, were great. The easy to use and safe to use, which is the most important thing when you're talking about certain things. What I really like some of the products that they sent us is all of the the deodorant, the body spray, the body wash, the shampoo, the shampoo and conditioner or whatever. I use all those products and really like the way they are and the way they smell, and my wife appreciates them as well.
How would you describe what those smell like? They're kind of like musky in a way, like a man. Yeah, like a man should smell when he's in like his library with the really nice dark oak walls and like books. Yeah, leather-bound books and a cigar and a fireplace going. Sitting in his bathrobe. That's what these things smell like. The deodorant is by far my favorite product. Like, I love it. I'm buying it from now on. I'm never buying another deodorant. And that's not even what they're known for. but the deodorant and body spray and body wash are my 3 favorite things in this entire package. Roger, what has your experience been?
Well,
very quickly here.
A couple of things I want to say, to your point about the packaging stuff. As someone who's worked in marketing for a while, I can appreciate their genius when it comes to that. I mean, there was a newspaper in there and a bunch of other stuff. So it was really, really exciting. As far as the products themselves, I used all of them as well. The trimmers, I really appreciated the trimmers, right? So to Ben's point, they were safe. They had that little LED light on there so you can see things. You can use them in the shower. They're waterproof. You can also recharge them. So you don't need batteries like all the time, so you don't have to worry about them running down. So it was really good. And they actually sent us some additional things. They sent us some underwear, the boxer briefs, which were comfortable, as well as the t-shirt. So
alrighty.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, so we're going to talk more about it. You'll hear about it every show from now on for a while. But we appreciate it if you would go there and check it out. We'll talk about it more when we get back. We got to take a break. If you haven't figured it out yet, I love Tijuana Flats. I would love them even if they weren't a partner with us on the Knightline Sports Network. They have all kinds of great Tex-Mex food, and it's fresh, by the way. Made to order burritos, tacos, enchiladas, chimichangas, quesadillas, bowls, nachos, and taco salads. And if you haven't tried the queso, you are completely missing out. It is the best queso that I've ever had in my life. Absolutely hands down. And the sauce bar that they have, everything from wild to mild in there. Absolutely awesome, awesome stuff. Not only do I love the food at Tijuana Flats, but I love the company, a UCF-born company. And they give back to the community with the Justin Queso Foundation. So head to your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. Hey Jeep Wrangler owners, have you ever sat in your office at work and watched the rain just pour into your Jeep because the weatherman said that there was a 0 chance of rain? Or you put your doors back on because there was a 100% chance and then not a drop of rain fell? Well, there's a company out there that can help take the worry away and give you the peace of mind to be without your doors. The company's called Life Without Doors. They make waterproof rain curtains and dash covers for Wranglers. Life Without Doors is there to help make the decision to leave the doors at home an easy one. Find out more at lifewithoutdoors.com.
Spice up your company with homemade marketing services from Tasty Gravy Creative. Tasty Gravy serves up a menu of budget-friendly marketing, graphic design, and public relations services customized to your specific goals. Co-owned by a UCF graduate, Tasty Gravy can help refresh your brand, strengthen your online presence, or reinforce your company's message. Contact Tasty Gravy for help with your website, social media, marketing, advertising materials, and more. Visit tastygravy.com.
And now, back to Nightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back with you here on Nightline at Night, live from the Dever Team Studios, brought to you by Chad Barlaw. Assisting injured veterans get the help they deserve. Give Chad a call, 407-599-9036, or visit protectingvets.com. You can also call Travis Dever for all your New Smyrna Beach real estate needs, 386-690-1636. And if you need a new or used car, truck, or Jeep, you can call me, Andrew Phegley, at 386-736-3000, 386-736-3000. And you can come and visit me at DeLand Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. And if you tell me Go Knights Charge On, I'll get you a special discount. We're taking your calls, by the way. I didn't mention it earlier. 844-580-9326, 844-580-9326 if you want to talk to us. And once again, I'm Andrew Phegley, AP_Knightline on Twitter. And then I got Big Ben Stout at Big Social 32 on Twitter, and Roger Phipps at Night Bengal on Twitter here with me. And we're talking UCF sports. That last segment wasn't so much UCF sports. It was more about a sponsor of ours, Manscaped. So go to manscaped.com, by the way, and put in Go Knights, I think is what I told them to do. Go Knights is what it was. Yes. Go Knights as a code, and you'll get free shipping on all your Manscaped products. So, guys, what I want to talk about in this segment, at least to start it off, is the kind of differences between the Big 12, which we're heading to, sounds like we're heading there next season, and the American, which we are currently in at UCF. So 12 of the 19 draft picks that came out of the American, 12 of 19 are from the three teams that are leaving, Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF, that are going to the Big 12. So 12 of the 19 picks that they had are from the teams that are leaving. That doesn't look good for them. And then Oklahoma and Texas are going to be leaving in 2024 or 2025 from the Big 12, which is why they brought these four teams, BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF in. 6 of the 25 were from Oklahoma there. So a little bit of a difference between those two, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? It seemed, a little bit weird. Texas, like we said earlier, didn't have one at all. So what do you guys think?
Well, I mean, for me, I think it looks good for the Big 12 and terrible for the American, right? Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF have represented most of the wins and the NY6 appearances as well for the Americans. So when you're looking at talent and you're looking at the ability to bring in cash for the conference with who they're replacing us with, I think it looks terrible for the American. For the Big 12, it's a net positive if you look at it that way, right? Because Texas, the last 4 seasons, has had either 0 or 1 picks. So Texas has not done well in the draft recently. And as a result of that, the Big 12 is gaining with these 3 teams. So good for the Big 12 and not so good for the American.
Yeah. I think that we may have lost Ben, by the way.
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. Ben, good. Go ahead. Tell us what you think. I thought we lost you. You were really quiet.
Yeah, I was just making sure that I was not creating any noise while Roger was speaking there. Yeah, but I agree. It's great for the Big 12 and the incoming Big 12 schools, especially the ones that are current conference mates, Cincinnati and Houston, along with us going in. But it just kind of shows you, what the appeal is. It's another additional fact that kind of drives what the appeal is of those 3 American schools to the Big 12, to really drive that conference forward and bring in a lot of quality football players, football teams into the Big 12, because we all know that football drives the ship. And so what was great about not only Cincinnati, Houston, UCF over the last few years, but even this year, especially with Cincinnati and a couple picks from Houston, is that it wasn't just draft picks, it was high draft picks as well. I mean, number 4 overall, came from Cincinnati, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Blake Bortles still has the highest draft pick from the AAC, yeah, number 3 back in the day. But still high top, first round, second round draft picks. The Bucks got a defensive lineman out of Houston, which I'm excited about as well. And so
nobody from the Big 12, by the way, in the very first round. No one. 0.
Well, there you go.
0 from the Big 12. Now, does that worry you, though? Because that kind of worries me in a way. Nobody was picked in the first round from the Big 12. I was looking at that while the first round, because I did get to watch the first round. When the first round was going on, I'm sitting there, okay, Big 12, come on, where are you?
Well, I think it's from what perspective would it worry you, right? When you think about, from a UCF perspective or from the incoming teams to the Big 12 perspective, then, it's like I said, it's kind of further proving why, we collectively make a great addition to the Big 12, right? Because we can improve upon that. So. Yeah,
you said you had an article pulled up or something about the breakdown between the conferences. Did you have something like that?
Yes, I do. You looking for a certain team or
no? So what was the breakdown between conferences? Like the SEC, I'm sure.
So SEC as usual, number one. So it actually had 65 picks coming out of the SEC. So it with the as we said during the break, the defending national champion Georgia at 15. The Big Ten was behind that with 48 picks. Then the Pac-12 had 25. The Big 12 had 25 as well. The ACC had 21, and then the AAC had 19. So then it goes down into Mountain West with 11, MAC with 6, and kind of so on and so forth. But
my Kansas City Chiefs went deep because they even picked from a. I can't remember the conference now. They picked from one of the historically black colleges, which there's not that was, I think, the second draft pick by the Chiefs from one of those schools.
Was it Jackson State that they picked?
It was something like I gotta pull it up because I didn't have my Chiefs page pulled up, but I can. But I just know that they had like a couple schools that I'd never heard of before, to be honest with you. I think there was a Western Michigan or something. They went really deep in this thing and picked from schools that I've, like I said, never heard of before. So pretty interesting as far as that goes. What else with the Big 12 and the American, the parity between those two, if anybody has anything while I look that up?
I would actually like to go back to your earlier question, which is what does it mean, for the Big 12 and should they be worried? I look at it, and I hate to bring this up because it seems like this is all the college football world has been talking about lately is the name, image, and likeness, right? But for me, the worry would be more that the Big 12 schools being able to participate in the playoff, right? They've missed it more than not. I think that's an indicator of it. But also with name, image, and likeness, it's allowing these bigger conferences, if they're saying, hey, we're draftable here, look at our results, and then they're saying, hey, we can offer you a bigger paycheck. I think that for the future, this may reinforce that pecking order with regard to recruiting and draft status moving forward. So a lot of the schools that are going to be left in the Big 12, the two big money schools in the Big 12, Oklahoma and Texas, are going away. I think that might hurt recruiting, if anything, long term, and maybe continue to consolidate that as well. I mean, one of the things the NCAA is looking at right now is maintaining the 85 cap for scholarship limit, but doing away with the annual cap, which due to the transfer rule and NIL, which I think is a smart move, but I think you may see further consolidation because of that.
Okay. I did have a chance to go back. I just wanted to clarify this real quick. Fayetteville State University, Joshua Williams, a corner from an HBCU school. Fayetteville State University is who the Chiefs picked. Fourth round, pick 30. So, and then they picked a guy from Marshall as well. So they got Conference USA in there. They got the Big Ten in there. They got the SEC in, and then they got the HBCU as well. And Western Michigan as well. Their second round pick, Sky Moore from Western Michigan. So they got all kinds of the conferences in there.
Yeah, I like the name. I like the name Sky Moore. That's a cool name. But
it'd be better if it was more Sky, but whatever.
I wanted to comment on what Roger said. I'm not. It's not that I disagree with what you said, because it could lead to further consolidation at the top if they're showing that, hey, look at how many draft picks we got. But the SEC and Big Ten have kind of dominated that for a while now, and I just don't know if NIL necessarily adds another wrinkle when it comes to the draft. I just feel like those two are kind of unrelated in a sense, and it's what's really actually interesting is when it comes to NIL is, do we see we've talked a lot on this show about like adjusting the way we view college sports as a fan because of NIL, right? Like and transfer and the transfer portal, like kind of it's not the way it used to be, so it's hard to get used to. But I'm actually curious to see if you actually see some adjustments as far as how if players leave early to go to the NFL, if they can make more money by staying in college. I mean, it's like the Tim Tebow.
Isn't that
rule,
weird?
Right? Like, it's like, imagine how much money Tim Tebow could have made if he would have, like if this was going on back in the day. Obviously he chose to stay for his senior year, but it would have been a no-brainer for somebody like Tim Tebow to like stay, for a senior, or like Johnny Manziel, right? Like Johnny Manziel would have absolutely stayed, or he would have been somebody who would have never wanted to leave college because that's where he could make the most money,
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that affects the NFL draft moving forward, as far as players leaving early or not, if they can make more money in college just for a time period.
Absolutely. Hey, we would be completely remiss if we didn't mention softball on this show.
For sure.
Softball number 17 today combined for a no. I believe that is no hits, no runs or something. I don't know what.
Correct.
So, I just assumed. But against Tulsa today, beat them 8-0 in 6 innings, got run ruled. Man, what a season those women are having out there. Roger, I was going to have you talk about that.
It's super exciting, and it really sets the stage for our showdown with Wichita State next week. And it's going to be a pitching battle versus the hitting, because Wichita State is one of the top offenses in the entire country. I think they had something like 10 runs in 1 inning last weekend. So it's going to be absolutely nuts. And what this does, they're both close enough in the AAC that it will determine the next series will determine the regular season winner. So right now UCF's still on the top, but we don't have enough of a lead to dictate whether we win or lose for the series. So the regular season title's up for grabs, and it'll be an interesting matchup next week.
Yeah, I don't know if this is current, but the Americans webpage says UCF's 14-1 and Wichita State is 13-2 in conference play. So, yeah, either team could take the whole American conference with that.
I just want to quickly give the two pitchers their due. I mean, Gianna Mancha has been fantastic this entire season. Kama Woodall is the other pitcher who combined for the no-hitter today. So fantastic outing. Put him in the record books for UCF with that combined no-hitter. Absolutely.
Softball is winding down. Baseball is winding down. You know what that means, right? You know what that means. Football is coming on its way. Slowly but surely. Absolutely on its way. All right. Got to get out of here for a break. We'll be right back on Knightline at Night.
I'm Jeff Allen. Join me each and every week on the Knightline Sports Network for the AAC Report. We bring you in-depth coverage of each school in football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, golf, tennis, and more, as well as bring you insider interviews and focus in on the biggest games and news of the week. That's all right here each week on the AAC Report, only on the Knightline Sports Network.
And now, back to Knightline at Night on WDBO 107.3 FM and AM 580. Call now at 844-580-9326.
All right, back with you here on Knightline at Night, brought to you by Chad Barlaw, live from the Dever Team Studios. I have to mention this really quick. I know we normally get into our Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week, but before that, I have to mention our guy Marlon Williams playing in the USFL for the Birmingham Stallions, number 17 there. What a play against New Orleans. I don't know if it was last night or today. Holy Moses. He took like a screen pass or whatever up the middle and just broke some ankles. Awesome.
Tunnel screen.
Whatever, yeah. It was awesome.
He's taken the league by storm. He's kind of doing exactly what we knew he what he's known for here at UCF, his time at UCF. So I'm so happy for him. And, I believe the first 2 weeks he's had 2 touchdowns now, so that's great.
Absolutely awesome. Neville Clark also made his pro football return with one of the teams as well the other night. I can't even remember what team he played for, but USFL. It's pretty fun. All right. Time for the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Welcome to the Tijuana Flats Hot Take of the Week. Visit TijuanaFlats.com for takeout or delivery, or visit your local Tijuana Flats. Tex-Mex for everyone. All right, I went to Tijuana Flats the other night, and I have a new favorite sauce. I can't tell you what it's called because I can't remember, but I know what the bottle looks like. So anyway, that's just the way that it goes, I guess. Anyway, Tijuana Flats, man, the food is awesome every time I go there. I love the place. It's time for our hot takes. Roger, why don't you go first?
All right, so for my Tijuana Flats hot take of the week, I'm going softball, and I'm going to say that the UCF softball team will win the series and the regular season American title. And the reason I say that is that Wichita State has a 4.12 ERA as a team versus our 2.16, and I'll take pitching over hitting any day of the week.
All righty, Ben.
All right, so we talked earlier in the show about 4 undrafted free agents that were signed off of UCF's roster. So Cole Schneider, Brandon Johnson, Big Cat Bryant, and Marcus Tatum. I am going to say that at least two of those 4 players are going to make an NFL roster this season.
All righty. Well, I'm going to go for this is a little bit far out on this one as far as like time and distance. I'm going to say Sam Jackson next year is UCF's top draft pick, and I think he will get picked in the first round. Offensive lineman Sam Jackson. Been here, I think this is his 6th year now, I believe, 5th or 6th, but the guy is, I think, one of the best offensive linemen in the entire nation personally. So we shall see, but I'm going to say that he gets picked in the first round next year. Linemen would tore up the first round. I mean, linemen were very important, defensive and offensive.
Well. Yeah.
And then, quarterback. So the first quarterback wasn't even picked until like 20 or something like that. That was a little crazy.
That's right.
This year. So I always look forward to the NFL draft. It's just one of my favorite things. I got to watch some of it. I did not get to watch all of it like I normally do, but got to watch some. So that was good. All right. Any final thoughts very quickly? Quickly.
Really cool to see Shaquem Griffin out there picking for Seattle during draft day. So was very excited to see him again.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us for this week. We'll be back next week. Same time, same station. Go Knights.
Charge on.